that comes in it is what makes it so much worse. So as the area started changing, I was like, this is cool, like this is diversity, but it becomes a problem when you no longer get to be a part of that scene and you're the one who created that scene. So displacement is real. Black and brown communities have been displaced from the beginning of time. That's how America came to be what it is today. It's the biggest form of displacement. Gentrification is the new colonialism. Gentrification is racism. Someone asked me the other day and said, well, you should be proud about gentrification because gentrification is what made you do and start these, you know, start these movements in your community. I'm like, whiteness doesn't control what I do inside my body. The warrior inside of me was like, you need to stand up. So basically what happened was that my block has been completely taken over by condos. And there seems to be this sense of like community and what community really means. And what's coming in now is not community, it's displacement. And my kids were playing and they were running up and down the block, you know, playing the things we always play in Brooklyn, right? Like the ones in Brooklyn know that are from here actually know what I'm talking about. Manhunt, freeze tag, Johnny Pump, you know, kick the can, all that good stuff. And somebody called the cops. And a white woman called the cops and her excuse was, I didn't pay this much money to hear kids play. Right, that's how I felt. Yeah. Then I became angry, but you know when people of color are angry, it's not valid. But I'm here to tell every person of color in this room that your anger is valid. And that when you use your anger to be productive, this is what you get out of it. So instead of being just angry, because I refuse for anyone to tell me that I can't be angry, I decided to be productive and start a youth program called Educated Little Monsters. So what happened was that Elm is very youth-led. They basically do what they want. I'm their bodyguard to make sure that you don't get in their way. I was a single mother for a very long time, and I don't think I understand what real oppression was until the white influx came into our community. Allyship is something that's very real, so I'm speaking to the white people in the room today. You need to speak to your friends. You need to be more of a voice, and you need to learn not to take up so much space. And I say that with every humbleness in my heart. I don't say that to separate anyone. I say that because it's real, and I say that because it's necessary. Allyship is important because that's the only time the government cares is when white people stand up with us. So you have a social responsibility in our community just as much as we do. And another thing is that since we're talking about gentrification and policing, you have to understand that when a white influx comes into our community, police brutality also heightens. Just like that lady decided to call the police on a bunch of 12, 13-year-olds, which Josh in the black t-shirt is one of them who was there that day, and it was his little sister's birthday. You don't have the same interaction we have with the police. You absolutely don't. And it's almost impossible for me to understand how do white people feel more safer in our communities and how beautiful they are, but I'm still scared about my son walking to the train station at 5 o'clock in the morning just because he wants to go play basketball. So those are the things that I want people to think about and to understand that it's not saying that we don't want you in our community, but we need you to understand that it's our community. And before it's my community, it's their community. So allyship, you need to talk to your friends. You need to be more inclusive in the things that you're opening up in our communities. If you're building something in my community and I don't feel comfortable in it, it's racist, bottom line. It's just the way it goes. So, I'm gonna leave it at that. My name is Jazzo, they call me Jazzo Brooklyn. My motto is I'm coming for everything they said we couldn't have, and I'm giving it back to them. So Brooklyn is not for sale. Not. And my job is to make the youth in this community understand that nothing comes before them. And before we could sit and unite, it is safe spaces is what black and brown communities need, and safe spaces is what's been continuously taken from black and brown communities. So if you are a white business owner with resources and space, You don't need to be the savior. It takes the hood to save the hood. There is nothing you can come and do in my community to save it, because the minute that you start thinking that you can do more for my community than we can, that's displacement all in itself. So all I'm saying is to open up your ears, open up your hearts, and listen to the stories that are being said. And if you see anger, you see anger. Because it's our anger and it's validated. So again, to the white people, when you call the cops, make sure that before you call the cops, especially on youth in our community, that you've taken every measure. I guarantee you that youth that you're probably thinking is a nuisance, or whatever word you may want to use, they have a family. Get to know who the family is, because we are the ones that take care of our youth in our communities. We do not call the police on our youth in our communities. You know why? Because the police isn't for us. Everybody keeps saying that the system is broken. It is not broken. It is doing exactly what it's supposed to do. Exactly what it's supposed to do. So we don't need to try to fix the system. Right now I'm trying to build my own system. Right now I'm trying to teach them to take the power. So I'm gonna leave it at that. Again, my name is Jazz. You can follow us on Educated Little Monsters. This is the graduated version of Educated Little Monsters, because they got to a point, they're like, we're not little anymore. And I'm like, all right, so Monsters of Brooklyn, and they was with it. So this is Monsters of Brooklyn, and they are my hearts. Man, we've been up for 4 or 5 days straight till like 2 in the morning just putting dance pieces together. They write their own music and they're ready to tell a message. So if you get the chance, follow Educated Little Monsters, Monsters of Brooklyn. Our emails is the same, educatedlittlemonsters@gmail.com, monstersofbrooklyn@gmail.com. And I'm gonna let them introduce themselves. First, we're gonna start off with a spoken word piece by Ashley, and then they're gonna go into a song. So I'm gonna need y'all to really make some noise and give some energy to the real Brooklyn, Monsters of Brooklyn.
Mic check. It's on, right? Okay, my name is Ashley.
My name is Ruthie. Oh, this mic is loud.
Keziah. Oh, I'm Keziah. Sorry, I'm a little late.
I'm Josh.
And I'm Keyshawn.
Now I'm gonna open up a spoken word, and I want to let you guys know that I'm 18 years old and I have been homeless, so I know how it feels. In the name of the ghetto, so they call it, I want my land back, give it. There's no gold, no silver, just maybe a rat that came from the sewer. Oh, we can fight down the road for our homes, but our landlord already told us it's been sold. So what do we do now for the sake of our hood? Go move to Delaware right away like the white people would. Oh, do I wish I had the money and I wish I had the color to control other territories, almost getting away with murder. Tell me, please, why you want our home, so you can look like such royals in thrones. My children cry, wondering where we will go. Don't worry, my dear, we'll figure something, you know. But I lied and I lied and I lied, and I'm crying like Jennifer Hudson. Fuck you, children of Columbus.
Check, check, check. Can you raise the volume a little bit? Yeah, it's good.
Check.
Check. Check, check.
Oh, my name is Ruthie. I'm 19 years old, and I'm from Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn. So.
I'm Keziah, I'm 15, and I'm from Bushwick.
I'm Josh. I'm 18, and I'm also from Bushwick.
I'm Keyshawn. I was born in Queens but raised in Bushwick.
And we basically put our own mix to Glory. I don't know if you guys know that song with John Legend.
By Common.
Yeah. So we basically put our own mix. So I hope you guys like it. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, just testing. Oh, actually, can you restart it and raise the volume a little bit?
Yes, queen.
One day, when the glory comes, it will be high.
one day we will win this war, but I wanna be the man to end it with the bullet of reality so they can see the insanity. Can it be? There's always light inside of darkness. We must become the big dog, bark loud and proud so that the heavens can hear it. I want it so loud that these assholes can't bear it. I want them to fear it, have them fall back like in Vietnam. I just can't play it calm anymore. It's a form of humility, you feel it in their souls, but I was burned brighter. It's a known fact, those who have lost come back a stronger fighter. I just wanna make our futures brighter. My poetry's deep like it does on my breath. I never sleep because it keeps me from thinking of my death. Let that sink in.
That sink in real quick.
One day, when the glory comes, it'll be ours. It'll be ours. Oh, one day, when the war is won, we will be strong. We will be strong.
I am the slave and the master Mexico. Both ends of the rope, I know Paquito. I sat back and screamed, free my people. I jumped off the ship and enslaved over the lands. Been enslaved and watched as these people took our mans, raped our mans and jammed our people where we stand. Threw up churches to bury our lands. Try to tell us we the inferior man. But I forgive them cause I'm really one of them. But I'm also one of the rest. Fuck Cornelius, Ricans really is some of the best. Of all worlds, a small world, we all share. Boys and girls, maybe if you try to understand me and my story, we put on this world to be all we can be.
Glory, but first comes a story. Let me speak out loud for you and for me. All this violence isn't necessary. Hands up, don't shoot. I don't think they hear us clearly. Do we gotta speak louder? Why bring violence into this? Why people have to get hit? Why can't we just switch up the shit? Martin had faith, those that have faith. Do we got faith? Fuck the government. I protest every day if I had to. See, it was crazier back then than now. Open your eyes, see the view is different now. Wow, I know how it feels to lose someone you love, but together, united, we all is one. Do you know how much power we can combine? See, I go crazy if you heard what's mine. My own kind of people, put your hands up and listen to our fucking story. Yeah.
One day, when glory comes, he'll be ours. He'll be ours. Oh, one day, when glory comes, he will be strong. We will be strong. Glory, glory, glory.
Thank you guys. We really appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate the love.
I've been
felt so
around these
good.
kids for years, and I swear for me, like, it always feels like the first time. And some people be like, Jazz is crazy. Why wouldn't I be? Look what, this is the future. Like, this is literally the future. I want you guys to know that. I know we go through it, we fight, we argue. This morning, we all were mad at each other on the way here because we were scared we wasn't gonna make it on time. But we are a family and this is community, so support the natives in this community, because when you're supporting people in this community, you're supporting people like me that can be able to support the youth in which they're able to keep taking that down. So I love y'all. You guys are my monsters.
We love you.
And I will do
love you.
anything for ya. So they will be dancing at 4:15-ish around there. So if you guys just, Kazaya is going to be speaking in a little while, and so will one of our monsters upstairs, Ariel the Unknown. Hi, Ariel. We are the squad, we are family, and we are with community, and the energy that we felt in this room tonight is the energy that we need to carry and embody in our
Yeah,
communities.
you guys were amazing.
So thank you for supporting us, and thank you for being here.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, one more time, people. One more time. Woo! Come on now. Woo! Come on now. Okay, now they will be conducting a roundtable discussion again at 3 o'clock. So if you want to be more intimate with them and talk to them and share your stories with them, they're going to be available for that. So please make sure you stay around for that. And then, of course, at 4:30, they will be doing their dance performance out in the Beaux-Arts Court. Now we're about to head on to the second panel discussion. And I guess I could just should I just go ahead and, okay. Now we talked about, the first panel talked about some things that are happening and really of concern that we have about the negative effects of gentrification. But this second panel is supposed to be more empowering and more uplifting. We really want to talk about struggles that have been happening in communities but have been won successfully. So we want to tell you what those strategies are. We want to share those experiences with you so that you can walk away feeling like there is something that you can do. Because too often we hear the lie, oh, there's nothing we could do. Oh, we're just powerless. The real estate industry is just more powerful than we are, and that's not true. So the moderator is Professor Tamangati. I don't know how many people know him. Oh, so he is known. Yes, he is a professor at Hunter College, and he runs the graduate center there for urban development. He's have about 5 or 6 books. He just came out with a new book called Zoned Out, Racism and City Planning. So he's going to be talking about that. We also have Anna Oroso from Uprose in Sunset Park, and she's going to be talking about their struggle over there. And then I am going to be one of the panelists as well. We also have a treat. Unfortunately, the person who was supposed to do the presentation when we had to change the calendar, he was unable to make it, but his story is so fantastic that we wanted to make sure that his story gets told. So I'm going to be telling his story, so I'm going to be playing 2 roles today. Not being greedy, but just making sure that you hear this really fabulous story. That's it? Okay, that's it.
Okay. Thank you so much, Alicia, for playing host and moderator and co-planner, everything. She's been amazing. We also wanted to just note that the teen program, the teen roundtable is happening now. So if you are a teen in the audience or if you have a teen with you, please, we're meeting over in the small room off of the Egyptian Gallery. I'll be out there. I can walk you over. So thank you.
Welcome. And this is really a tough act to follow. But we hope to do some electrifying in a different way. And I want to start out by making a few general comments. We're supposed to be the panel that comes in and says, well, this is what you can do concretely. This is how the system works and doesn't work, and we've got some examples to tell you about. But there's an awful lot of the discussion that's going to go back to everything that the first panel talked about the need to really target the problem at the base, and I do think land is at the heart of the problem and the heart of the issue, and too much of our thinking avoids this fundamental truth. And we talk about zoning, we talk about housing policy, we talk about affordable housing. No, the problem is people are being thrown off the land. And I just want to add something too about that discussion about gentrification and displacement. I think gentrification is displacement, and that's the problem. People being thrown off their land. Yes, it's our land, and the problem in a system in which all land is distributed according to the laws of private property is that we don't think of it as our land unless we have a title to it. So part of the problem in talking about solutions is changing the way we think about our communities, about our cities, and about the issues that we confront, gentrification and displacement. And one other thing I wanted to add about that discussion about gentrification. It is displacement, but not displacement of everybody. Displacement in the United States has a sharp racial edge. Now, white people have been displaced hundreds of times in the United States. After the Second World War, the federal government provided rich subsidies so that the white working class could move out of central cities into the suburbs. They got the interstate highway system, and they got federally guaranteed mortgages. That's what we call white privilege. So the discussion isn't complete until we talk about how white privilege figures in the whole discourse on displacement. And if you are, or you think you're a gentrifier, you have to ask the question, what is the privilege you carry or don't carry because of the color of your skin? So that's my only footnote to what came before. I have worked for decades on community planning in New York City. I used to work for the city planning department. I've worked with many neighborhoods and communities on developing their own plans. And what is community planning? It's started historically in this city out of the struggles for land. When people fought against displacement, when their struggles were mature enough and developed enough, they had the wisdom to say, well, we need to know not just what we don't want, we also need to have an understanding of what we do want. That's called political strategy, but you put it in the form of a program, a political strategy for your neighborhood. That's an answer to the government-led and real estate-led strategy, which is real estate development.